In this episode, I share everything I've learned to fix my energy after consuming tons of hours of health experts like Jay Shetty, Jessie Inchauspé, James Nestor, Dr. Daniel Amen, Andrew Huberman, and many more. So here's my step-by-step on how I incorporate their advice into my life and finally got my energy levels back. From taking decisions and not pills, to designing our perfect week, killing sugar and eating whole foods, tracking health like CEOs, and breathing like a monk. For those who are new, my name is Sergio Leis, and I'm sharing stories on my solopreneur journey. This is week 7, and I have $2,000 left in savings. Every Sunday, I share what is working for me and what's not. You can subscribe or join my newsletter down below if you want to follow the journey. Alright, let's get into it. So last year I burnt out, I worked in corporate and my stress levels were through the roof. I felt constant brain fog, and I was getting by with little peaks of energy. For the next work deadline, presentations, projects, revenue goals, and for the next social thing, birthdays, travels, dinners. And I don't have kids, so I can't imagine how you guys also deal with this. Anyway, here's my quick story in case it helps anyone. I was head of e-commerce for a company making millions in revenue, so big pressure for my age. My schedule was just back-to-back meetings all day long. Stressful, but I enjoyed jumping into meetings with 20 people and had no problem leading them. One day, my body just had enough and I suffered a panic attack in one of these meetings. Those who've suffered from this know how terrible it is. So for the next months, my energy levels absolutely plumped. I hadn't prioritized myself and my body just couldn't take it anymore. And I feel like we're all suffering something like this at different levels. Like we're in a pandemic of anxiety and stress. Trying to get to everything and just feeling overwhelmed. So I started my journey to fix this, and man, I'm feeling like an absolute beast again. And here's how I've done this. Let's see if I can bring you some value. Our bodies are extremely intelligent. If we feel any symptoms, that's our body telling us something's wrong. So don't shut it down with pills, alcohol, or tons of work. I've been there. Listen to it and take action. Otherwise, the problem just gets bigger. I love an image of a patient and his doctor. The patient tells the doctor everything he's going through and then asks, "What can I take for this?" So the doctor looks at him and replies, "Decisions. You can take decisions." I was like, whoa, that makes so much sense. So I was feeling anxiety for my job and I decided to start working on quitting. It's incredible how relieving taking decisions can be, like breaking out from a relationship we don't want to be in. It's hard at first, but it's so relieving to our mind. It's almost instant, even better than painkillers. So getting back our energy is a matter of taking decisions to prioritize our mind and body. If we take care of our mind and body, they'll take care of us. That sounds super mystical, I know. But seriously, this is a matter of psychology and biology. So push away anything that's stealing your energy and bring in anything that's building your energy. This can be habits, relationships, projects. I take decisions based on my gut feeling, so I inform myself on that topic, asking people I care about, reading the books, watching YouTube videos, whatever. Then I let it sink in, and after a few days, I'm super clear on my decision. Ali Abdal talks about redesigning our week, and this has been a huge one for me. Remember, my weeks used to be back-to-back meetings all day long. I tried to squeeze my exercise in, but had not much energy left, and on weekends just rushed into my social life, carrying the anxiety of the week. Not a very beautiful life, right? So this exercise is about redesigning our perfect week. Blank canvas for now, we can later figure out how to get there. Here's what I'd get in: time for work, time for me, and time for my loved ones. So health, wealth, and love, nothing new. I just try to keep the balance. For work, I get 3 blocks of 2 hours and rest 1 hour in between. I used to work straight 9 to 8 and I get so much more done now in less time because I put all my focus on these 2 hours with no distractions. I know this is not possible when you work for someone, but that's how I do it. For health, I also get my exercise in every day. I do boxing, yoga, and I'm really enjoying taking long walks. Like a granny, but it's like a meditation for me. I take my walks early in the morning to get my blood flowing, and also morning sun exposure, which apparently is great for mental health. I do feel absolutely great after my walks. I also use my resting time to meditate. No phone, no nothing, just myself with my mind. Meditation is great to recharge my energy like magic. And lastly, I get quality time with my loved ones, mostly during weekends, but I also get some time during the week. This is my perfect week. Yours will be different. We don't have to be super strict about this. I still don't follow mine 100%. Things happen every week, but it feels great to have this as foundation and keeps my energy and purpose in place. So I came across Jessie Inchauspé. She's the author of The Glucose Revolution, and she does a great job at making glucose easy to understand. We all know food is the fuel of our body, so it makes sense to bring in great food if we want to have great energy. The idea behind Jessie's book is to avoid being in a glucose roller coaster. Every time we eat something high in glucose, so sugars, processed food, etc., we jump into a glucose spike, so a peak of energy inside of our bodies. And after a few hours, we go into a glucose crash, like an afternoon energy crash. So the goal here is to keep our glucose levels steady steady with no ups and downs. This was a game changer for my energy. She has a ton of interesting hacks. You can go read her book. To keep it simple, we have to bring in more fibers, proteins, and carbs in that order, and less sugars and processed foods. I bought a glucose monitor reader, which is a device you plug to your arm. Sounds futuristic. And you get a real-time response of your body to everything you eat. So maybe you eat whole foods and you get a score of 10, and maybe you eat a burger and you get a score of 3. We don't have to get obsessed with these devices, but we can start bringing more score 10 meals into our bodies. So I was pretty big into food cravings given my high stress, and quitting sugar for 10 days just reset my body to its basics. Literally no more cravings, and my energy was sustained throughout the day. I still have sugar and fast food every now and then, but I just make sure it's not on an empty stomach. On Jay Shetty's podcast, I heard this guy say, we have to track our health like CEOs track their business. And that makes so much sense to me, because we have to understand our numbers and take action to improve them. Same thing as a CEO with the health of his business. So the glucose monitor is good, but just for a few months. You learn what food is good for you, and then you're good to go. For my overall health, I use a Whoop strap. This thing tracks my sleep, stress, and activity levels, and a ton of other things I don't understand yet. It's very similar to the Aura Ring, and seems like every famous person is wearing one of these. Here's a day where I felt full of energy after taking care of my sleep, eating whole foods, and moving my body. And here's a day where I felt awful after having drinks, eating fast food, and ruining my sleep. So I'm just trying to have more of the green days so I can put more energy into my business and life. Also, sleep is so important for energy. You probably already know this. So make sure to leave electronic devices to one side and avoid eating or exercising 3 hours before bed. With Whoop, you realize how bad alcohol is for sleep. It absolutely ruins your sleep that night. So I've been drinking less alcohol since I wear this. Again, we don't have to get obsessed with these devices, but I believe they're great to understand and improve our health. Imagine a CEO running a business without the numbers. And lastly, and most important for me, breathing. So when I was broken with my panic attacks, people would say, hey, you have to control your breathing. And I'd be like, what the f***? I'm trying. I don't understand when people say breathe deeply. And actually, that's not even right. So I read this book from Nestor. Great book as well. The message behind it is that we're all breathing wrong. He says we're in a pandemic of short breaths. Again, for this anxious society we're becoming. So the correct way to breathe, according to this expert, is to breathe through our nose. People even buy mouth tapes and fix many health issues just by shutting their mouths when they sleep. It's been another game changer for me. Breathing through my nose, but not just that. Also making sure I take long inhales, but most importantly, long exhales. Otherwise, we keep too much oxygen inside of our bodies, and that's when we feel brain fog and dizziness. Turns out our body's natural breathing system is through the nose. For longer breaths that calm our body and nervous system. Breathing from our stomach and not from our chest. If our nervous system is calm, then we're not over-consuming energy. That's like driving a car 80 miles per hour in first gear. You're burning the car. I make sure to reset my breathing during my meditation time. There's a ton of breathing exercises, but I don't need 40 breath types, to be honest. I just need one basic foundation breathing. Alright, so again, I'm not an expert. I'm just a normal guy who's taken the research from actual experts and got his energy levels back on track. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I reply to all of them. Also, I believe starting our own businesses is the best way to get back our time. So here's another video on how to start an online business. Thanks for spending your time with me, and I'll see you in the next one.